Okay, so I am going to read chapter one. Now, the book doesn't have chapters, but I'm putting chapters down so we know what we're doing. And this is the Julian chapter of Auggie and Me by R.J. Palacio. She wrote Wonder that we just finished, and it's great. So here we go. Again, this is from Julian's point of view. Chapter one is called Ordinary. Okay, okay, okay. I know. I have not been nice to August Pullman. Big deal. It's not the end of the world, people. Let's please stop with the drama, okay? There's a whole big world out there, and not everyone is nice to everyone else. That's just the way it is. So can you please get over it? I think it's time to move on and get on with your life, don't you? Jeez. I don't get it. I really don't. One minute, I'm like the most popular kid in fifth grade. The next minute, I'm like, I don't know, whatever. This bites. The whole year bites. I wish Augie Pullman had never come to Beecher Prep in the first place. I wish he had kept his creepy little face hidden away like in the Phantom of the Opera or something. Put a mask on, Augie. Get your face out of my face, please. Everything would be a lot easier if you just disappeared. At least for me. I'm not saying it's a picnic for him either, by the way. I know it can't be easy for him to look in the mirror every day or walk down the street. But that's not my problem. My problem is that everything's different since he's been coming to my school. The kids are different, I'm different, and it sucks. Big time. I wish everything was the way it used to be in fourth grade. We had so much fun back then. We'd play tackle tag in the yard, not to brag, but everyone always wanted a piece of me. I'm just saying. Everyone always wanted to be my partner when we did social studies projects, and everyone always laughed when I said something funny. At lunchtime, I'd always sit with my peeps, and we were like it. We were totally it. Henry, Miles, Amos, and Jack. Okay, I'll call her. Sorry. No, you're fine. And everyone always laughed when I said something funny. At lunchtime, I'd always sit with my peeps, and we were it. We were totally it. Henry, Miles, Amos, Jack. We were it. We were super cool. We had all the secret jokes, little handshakes, and signals for stuff. I don't know why that had to change. I don't know why everyone got so stupid about stuff. Actually, I do know why. It was because of Augie Pullman. The moment he showed up, that's when everything stopped being the way it used to be. Everything was totally ordinary. And now, things are messed up. And it's because of him. And Mr. Tushman, in fact, it's kind of totally Mr. Tushman's fault. Chapter 2, The Call. I know what call this is going to be. I remember Mom made a big deal about the call we got from Mr. Tushman. At dinner that night, she went on and on about what a big honor it was. The middle school director had called us at home to ask if we would be a welcome buddy to some new kid in school. Wow, big news. Mom acted like I won an Oscar or something. She said it showed her that the school really did recognize who the special kids were, which she thought was awesome. Mom had never met Mr. Tushman before because he was the middle school director and I was still in the lower school, but she couldn't stop raving about how nice he'd been on the phone. Mom's always been kind of a big wig at school. So again, this is Julian's mom. She's on the board of trustees thing, which I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's a big deal. She's always volunteering for stuff too. Like she's always been the class mom for every grade I've ever been in. Always. She does a lot for the school. So the day was supposed to be a welcome buddy, she dropped me off at the middle school. She wanted to take me inside, but I was like, Mom, it's middle school. She took the hint and drove off before I went inside. Charlotte, Cody, and Jack Will were already in front of the lobby, and we said hello to each other. Jack and I did our peeps handshake, and then we said hello to the security guard. Then we went up to Mr. Tushman's office. It was so weird being in a school when no one was there. Like in the summertime, no one's in a school. Dude, we could totally skateboard in here and no one would know, I said to Jack, running and gliding on the smooth floor of the hallway after the security guard couldn't see us anymore. Ha, Jack, said, ha, yeah, said Jack. But I noticed that the closer we got to Mr. Tushman's office, the quieter Jack got. In fact, he kind of looked like he was going to blow chunks. That means throw up. Probably nervous. As we got to the top of the stairs, he stopped. I don't want to do this, he said. I stopped next to him. Charlotte had already gotten to the top landing. Come on, she said. You're not the boss, I answered. She shook her head and rolled her eyes at me. I laughed and nudged Jack with my elbow. We loved egging Charlotte Cody on. She was such a goody two shoes. This is so messed up, said Jack, rubbing his hand over his face. What is? Do you know who the new kid is? He asked. I shook my head. You know who he is, right? Jack said to Charlotte, looking up at her. Charlotte walked down the stairs to us. I think so, she said. She made a face like she had just tasted something bad. Jack shook his head and then smacked it 3 times with his palm. I'm such an idiot for saying yes to this, he said, his teeth clenched. Wait, who is it? I said. I pushed Jack's shoulder so he'd look at me. It's that kid called August, he said to me. You know, the kid with the face. I had no idea who he was talking about. Are you kidding me? Said Jack. You've never seen that kid before? He lives in this neighborhood. He hangs out in the playground sometimes. You have to have seen him. Everyone has. He doesn't live in this neighborhood, answered Charlotte, meaning Julian. Yes, he does, Jack answered impatiently. No, Julian doesn't live in this neighborhood, she answered, just as impatiently. What does that have to do with anything? I said. Whatever, Jack interrupted. It doesn't matter. Trust me, dude. You've never seen anything like this before. Please don't be mean, Jack, Charlotte said. It's not nice. I'm not being mean, said Jack. I'm just being truthful. Well, what exactly does he look like? I asked. Jack didn't answer. He just stood there shaking his head. I looked at Charlotte, who frowned. You'll see, she said. Let's go already, okay? She turned around and went up the stairs and disappeared down the hall to Mr. Tushman's office. Let's just go already, okay? I said to Jack, imitating Charlotte perfectly. I thought this would totally make him laugh, but it didn't. Dude, Jack, come on, I said. I pretended to give him a hard slap in the face. This actually did make him laugh a bit, and he threw in a slow motion punch back at me. Whoa! This led to a quick game of spleen, which is where we try to jab each other in the rib cage. Fun game. Fun game. Guys, let's go, Charlotte commanded from the top of the stairs. She had come back to get us. Guys, let's go, I whispered to Jack, and this time he did kind of laugh. But as soon as we rounded the corner of the hallway and got to Mr. Tushman's office, we all got pretty serious. When we went inside, Mrs. Garcia told us to wait in the Nurse Molly's office, which is a small room to the side of Mr. Tushman's office. We didn't say anything to each other while we waited. I resisted the temptation to make a balloon out of one of the gloves, like the rubber gloves, latex gloves that were in a box by the exam table, though I knew it would have made everyone laugh. Chapter 3 is Mr. Tushman, and this will be the last one I read. Mr. Tushman came into the office. He was kind of tall, kind of thin, with messy gray hair. Hey, guys, he said, smiling. I'm Mr. Tushman. You must be Charlotte. He shook Charlotte's hand. And you are... He looked at me. Julian, I said. Julian, he repeated, smiling. He shook my hand. And you're Jack, Will, he said to Jack, and shook his hand, too. He sat down in the chair next to Nurse Molly's desk. First of all, I just want to thank you guys so much for coming here today. I know it's a hot day, and you probably have other stuff you want to do. How's the summer been treating you, okay? We all kind of nodded, looking at each other. How's the summer been for you? I asked him. Oh, so nice of you to ask, Julian, he answered. It's been a great summer, thank you. Though I'm seriously looking forward to the fall. I hate this hot weather. He pulled his shirt. I'm so ready for the winter. All 3 of us were bobbing our heads up and down like doofballs at this point. I don't know why grown-ups even bother chit-chatting with kids. It makes us feel weird. I mean, I personally I'm pretty okay talking to adults, maybe because I travel a lot and I talked to a lot of adults before. But most kids don't really like talking to grown-ups. That's just the way it is. Like, if I see a parent of some friend of mine and we're not actually in school, I try to avoid eye contact so I don't have to talk to them. It's too weird. It's also really weird when you bump into a teacher outside of school. Like, one time I saw my 3rd grade teacher at a restaurant with her boyfriend, and I was like, ew! I don't want to see my teacher hanging out with her boyfriend, you know? Anyway, so there we were. Charlotte, and Jack nodding away like total bobbleheads as Mr. Tushman went on and on and on about the summer. But finally, he got to the point. So, guys, he said, kind of slapping his hands against his thighs, it's really nice of you to give up your afternoon to do this. In a few minutes, I'm going to introduce you to the boy who's coming to my office, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about him beforehand. I mean, I told your moms a little bit about him. Did they talk to you? Charlotte and Jack both nodded, but I shook my head. My mom said he had a bunch of surgeries, I said. Well, yes, but did she explain about his face? I have to say at this point was when I started thinking, okay, what the heck am I doing here? I mean, I don't know, I said, scratching my head. I tried to think back to what Mom had told me. I hadn't really paid attention. I think most of the time she was going on and on about what an honor it was that I'd been chosen. She really didn't emphasize that there was something wrong with the kid. She said that you said the kid had a lot of scars and stuff, like he'd been in a fire. I didn't quite say that, Mr. Tushman said, raising his eyebrows. What I told your mom is that this boy has a severe craniofacial difference. Oh, right, right, right. I interrupted because now I remembered. She did use that word. She said it was like a cleft lip or something. Mr. Tushman scrunched up his face. Well, he said, lifting his shoulders and tilting his head left and right. It's a little more than that. He got up and patted my shoulder. I'm sorry if I didn't make it clear to your mom. In any case, I don't mean to make this awkward for you. In fact, it's exactly because I don't want it to be awkward that I'm talking to you right now. I just wanted to give you a heads up that this boy definitely looks different from other children. And that's not a secret. He knows he looks different. He was born that way. He gets that. He's a great kid. He's a smart kid. Very nice. He's never gone to a regular school before because he was homeschooled, because of all the surgeries. So that's why I wanted you guys to show him around a bit, to get to know him, be his welcome buddies. You can totally ask him questions if you want. Talk to him normally. He's just a normal kid with a face that, is not so normal. He looked at us for a second and took a deep breath. Oh boy, I think I just made you all nervous, did I? We shook our heads. He rubbed his forehead. He said, one of the things you learn when you get old like me is that sometimes a new situation will come along and you'll have no idea what to do. There's no rule book that tells you how to act in any given situation in life, you know? So, what I always say is that it's better to err on the side of kindness. That's the secret. If you don't know what to do, just be kind. You can't go wrong, which is why I asked the three of you to help me out because I heard from your lower school teachers that you're really nice kids. Really, Julian? Did the teacher really say that? We didn't know what to say to this, so we all just kind of smiled like goobers. Ooh. Just treat him like you would teach any other kid you just met, he said. That's all I'm trying to say, okay, guys? We nodded at the same time now, bobbing our heads. You guys rock, he said, so relax, wait here a bit, and Mrs. Garcia will come get you in a few minutes. He opened the door, and guys, really, thanks again for doing this. It's good karma to do this. It's mitzvah, you know? With that, he smiled, winked at us, and left the room. All three of us exhaled at the same time. We looked at each other, our eyes kind of wide. Okay, said Jack, I don't know what the heck karma is, and I don't know what the heck mitzvah is. That all made us laugh a little, though it was kind of nervous kind of laugh. So the next chapter that we're going to read tomorrow is called First Look. So I'm going to stop recording and then I will open up to discuss.